Hey, it's me, Matty P. You should be outsourcing. If you're a dungeon master, there are things you're doing which I think you should be getting your players to do instead. So here's a list of 8 things that I think you can get your players to do. And if your players need a little reminder of what their job is, I've got these little handouts available on Patreon. Let's go. The Cartographer. The Cartographer is the person who draws the battle map. For me personally, I use a battle grid that's like dry erase. So sometimes while I'm getting all my minis in order and getting all of my monster stat blocks in order, I will ask a player, can you please draw a battle map that's about 30 by 40 and has 2 entrances and exits and there's a big fire in the middle? And I trust them for where to place it, and they always make creative, interesting battle maps. For one, saves me time, and for two, it's something that I wouldn't have thought of necessarily. Give this to a player that can draw quick, that appreciates that kind of kinetic brain space. It's really fun. The damage tracker. Now here's something I get asked all the time in D&D. Hey, is this guy, this goblin, is he looking rough? How much damage have we dealt to him? And I'm sick of being asked that. So the damage tracker is the person who can count from 0 up of the amount of damage you've done to each target. And the players can instead look at the tracker that this person is keeping of how much damage they've dealt. And also, if you happen to reveal the armor class throughout combat of any of these enemies, then the damage tracker can note that down as well and just kind of offload a little bit of that mental overhead. The thing is, I'm not suggesting that you tell this person, oh, this goblin has 17 hit points max and this goblin has 18 hit points max. No, they're just counting 1 to whatever and you tell them when it's dead. My favorite, the initiative tracker. I need this every combat because initiative just confounds me sometimes. So the initiative tracker's job is to take everybody's initial rolls of initiative and put them in order so everybody can see, including the monsters. Now, they should keep track of the number that people rolled as well, not just the order, because if something changes, like we have a new combatant join, then we can slot them in. And my favorite function of this character, this person, is that when somebody's turn is coming up, remind them, hey, John, it's your turn now, but it's going to be Mary's turn next, so Mary, get ready, right? Maybe be more polite than that. The Notetaker. This is a special role. Now, it's not something that the Dungeon Master needs. Hey, as a DM, I already know everything about the campaign. I wrote it, it's fine. But the players sometimes have varying information. The Notetaker is a person just in charge of keeping track of the really key facts. You don't need like a session recap. You don't need like a narrativization of the story. You just need key names, key places, key events, and that's it. So we can just check the annals of this character's notes, this person's notes. Thank you, Notetaker. This is a very rare one. The NPC. Sometimes when we're role-playing, it doesn't matter. Oh, Dungeon Master, I want to go shopping and buy 4 daggers. And what, now I have to voice this NPC that doesn't matter and will contribute nothing to the plot? The NPC player, you, who aren't actually involved in this scene, can you, player, please role play this shopkeeper for this other player? And your motivation is to try and get the best deal possible. And then they just role play with each other for like a couple of minutes and then you can step in and move the scene along. It's a rare person that is comfortable doing this. Going from I'm playing a barbarian named John to going, oh yeah, I'll step in and control that, you know, that random hobo or that shopkeeper just for a couple of seconds to roleplay for you. The rules looker-upper. Now here's a person I appreciate. Turn your rules lawyering to good. Because sometimes we're in combat and we don't know exactly how suffocation works. I know there's a rule and I know it's going to come into play. So I will say, hey, rules looker-upper, can you do me a favor and open your PHP and look for suffocation rules, and they'll just go find that esoteric rule. They only look up rules when asked. Do not use your powers for evil. Do not correct me as a dungeon master when I haven't asked for help, because there's every chance that I either don't care about the ruling or I'm specifically making a house rule. But when needed, the rules looker-upper has got your back. This one's pretty niche, the scheduler, because I have a lot of trouble actually getting my mates in the same room to play D&D. But the scheduler's job is at the end of the session, the scheduler needs to make sure that we have the next session booked. And this might mean some work outside of the actual game. But it's the scheduler's job to, hey, work out and confirm where are we playing, when are we playing, how long are we playing, and then also they're the main contact for cancellation. So if John the Barbarian can't come, don't contact the DM, contact the scheduler, right? They're taking care of all that stuff. And here we go, the snack bringer. You bring snacks. All these silly little handouts are available on Patreon right now. All these patrons down here have already got it. Check it out, matthewperkins.net/Patreon. Now, you may have noticed that like, hey, haven't you already seen this video before? Well, it's because I talked about this on my friend Anto's channel, but that video is not there anymore. So I figured I'd talk about it here as well. So, hey, thanks. If you have a suggestion for a player role that could use one of these little handouts, leave a comment and I will make it and add it to the list. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.